Hello, Laura Schwalm here with some guided messages with the Psychic Soul Healing Oracle deck. Welcome to the Psychic Soul Healing Oracle channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment down below. Any information you guys need about the channel, of course, it is only in the description box, such as how to book a personal psychic reading, how to book a psychic soul reading, how to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or any other platform, and how to get your psychic soul healing merchandise. All that goodness is there for you. Now, this is a general reading, so if it doesn't resonate, don't force it. Take what you need or what resonates and leave the rest. Now, we're going to do a soul contract oracle spread. Now, for those of you that don't know what soul contracts are, it happens to be a very popular theme on this channel because this is a soul healing oracle channel. So we all have soul contracts or agreements, if you will. We make long before we incarnate here in the physical realm, okay? And they are to teach us. Now, our soul contracts could be with family members, they could be with friends, they could be with mentors, they could be essentially with anyone. But we on this channel mainly talk about our karmic contracts with our romantic partners. So in short, karmic contracts mean that we're living experiences that we need to experience. Karmic contracts teach us, they create balance, they make us better people, they even heal us, okay? Now, our karmic contracts are mainly here for us to learn, to grow the soul, but also to release our negative karma. So usually negative contracts are born out of despair, fear, pain, anger. Again, anything that originated from a soul wound, they are unconscious promises that we have made to ourselves or even to other people that hinder us from moving forward. Okay, so today we're going to do an 8-card spread on the karmic contract. But what we want to know is we want to know what is the energy that you are bringing to this connection? What's drawing you to your person? What is the energy that that person is bringing to this karmic connection? What are they bringing to the table? What is their karmic issues that they're bringing to the table? And what is the energy that draws them to you? And what are 3 main karmic contract themes and what you need to do to break that karmic contract? Okay, now the cards have been very heavily shuffled. Though I always like to get a little bit of my energy through, and I just pull from wherever I am resonated to pull from. As you can see, I have another deck here, which are just some homemade oracle messages. So, which I want to pull a few to see what your person might have to say to you in this karmic connection. Okay, so I'm going to just tune the area to the highest vibration. So if you're sensitive to your sound, again, have sensitive ears, please turn down the volume on your listening device now. Okay. Okay, again, we want to see what is the energy that you are bringing to the table within this karmic contract. Merciless forgiveness. So you may be someone that just is very codependent, where you are a fixer and just forgive everything, where maybe you don't have boundaries. Maybe you need to forgive someone, and this is how it continues to play out within your relationship. A lot of times, if we grew up with someone that was a difficult person, that hurt us, or we felt they betrayed us on some level. And that could be that they just emotionally weren't very supportive to us growing up. Then a lot of times we could be angry still with this person because we view that certain experiences played out the way that they did because of how they were to us. So we need to forgive them. And so what happens is we wind up becoming magnets of people that tend to do the same thing to us, because we need to learn the theme of forgiveness. So it's something that's very, very important to know. Again, a lot of times we would be a lot, it's a lot easier for us to forgive our romantic partners than our families that have done very similar things. And that is why spirit, the universe, brings us people that resonate with our ancestors and family members that have hurt us. A lot of times they might have a trait, and that trait could be that you feel that you're with someone that's not very emotionally intelligent. They don't give you emotional support the way that you wish that they would. And that's the same as what your mother or your father did. So the theme is playing out the same way, bringing up the same feelings and emotions. So we would need to, again, we need to bring this energy to the table. We need to bring forgiveness to the table. That is what you're bringing. And that's not uncommon with karmic contracts, because karmic contracts are usually based on codependency that play out in very similar karmic themes that our parents lived. So again, what draws you to this person? Let's see, what draws you to this person? Greedy. So again, you may perceive that they have money. You may perceive that they have a really good life. You may perceive that due to how they present themselves, it will make you look better. And this is also not uncommon in codependent relationships and in karmic contract relationships. We, a lot of times, are matched up with someone that, or drawn to someone that has gifts or traits that we feel that we don't have. So maybe you're with someone that it's really easy for them to make money, but they don't have a lot of friends. They tend to be a loner, and they would like to have more friends. And maybe you would like to make more money and know how to become financially stable. Usually one has a very outgoing personality and the other one is more quiet. Again, opposites attract. A lot of times we see that these karmic contracts, again, are with people that have traits opposite and have gifts opposite. So it's, again, in this instance, the relationship is not really based 100% on unconditional love. It's based on outer world appearances. Again, so it could be what the person looks like, it could be what they own, and that is perceived as, oh, I really like them because, but it's not. It's that you don't like the person for them, you like the person, again, for what they have. Just the same as liking someone for what they look like and not really for who they are, is and not liking them because you have unconditional love for them. It's all the difference between what the difference between lust and love. So karmic contracts a lot of times are based on lust, where both parties in the beginning thought it was love because there's such an intense connection and soul recognition. So let's see what that person is bringing to the table in this karmic connection, in this karmic contract. Release fear and ancestral karma. What did I just say? A lot of times when we're brought up in family dynamics where we saw one parent take care of another. Maybe one parent was an alcoholic and the other parent wasn't. Maybe one parent was an absentee parent. They were never around. So it's again, now the same theme is playing out. And so a lot of times in our fear of what we're afraid to attract, we put so much energy towards it. We're making the law of attraction work against us. So we also tend to go for people that hold the familiarity. So if you grew up in an abusive environment or a codependent environment, that could seem very normal to you. So the unconscious knowing is that you tend to attract this because it's familiar, but it's not what you want. So then then what we see a lot of times is a runner and a chaser within these divine unions, within a soulmate or a twin flame relationship. And it's mainly because it all stems from family karma, ancestral karma. And ancestral karma is our grandparents and our great grandparents. And we have to look at what was going on in their environment during the time, what was happening collectively, because their thought patterns and their behaviorisms were built on that. So if we grew up in an environment that was codependent, a lot of times that was inherited from many, many, many generations back, many ancestral lines back within our own, like DNA and ancestral lines, family lines, that now where it's happening within our relationship to break that family karma. So that is what that person is bringing to the table. Let's see what is drawing them to you. What is drawing them to you? Let's see what is drawing them to you. Victim. So a lot of times if we were brought up in an environment where we didn't get enough and we weren't treated very nicely because our parent was stressed out, maybe there was one parent and that parent had to work all the time. It doesn't really matter what was happening, though we always tend to get stuck in the story of what happened. It's not about what happened. It's about how we responded to what happened. So as a kid, when we don't feel safe and we don't feel supported because of, ancestral stuff, then what winds up happening is that we inherit that, and we just feel like, well, it's just the way that it is, and we are the victim. We actually don't realize that we are giving away our power, that we are, by saying that we're a victim, we can actually take back our power by seeing how we're a victim. And a lot of times it's by releasing our family karma. And that's by realizing that we don't really need anything outside of ourselves to be whole. If you want to acquire what that person or that relationship or that person you feel is able to acquire so easily, then do what they did to acquire it, meaning take a class, feed yourself with knowledge, which when you feed yourself knowledge, whether that's take a class, connect with other people, you're giving yourself love. When you give yourself love, you're actually don't have a need to be codependent anymore. Even if you haven't acquired what it is that you've seeking to acquire yet, just the simple act of giving yourself love, because when you give yourself love, you become the energy of love, you attract love, and then eventually you master what it is that you're going to create, because you've attracted a lot of like-minded people that are bringing you support, and support is a form of love. So it's, again, a lot of times we feel victimized, like we can't have love. from our own negative core beliefs due to, again, what we grew up around, what was happening in our environment, what our beliefs were, needing to forgive, all those reasons. It keeps us limited and blocked and stuck. So let's look at some of the karmic contracts. It's called to take that one. Fanatical. Fanatical tends to be like obsessive. So it is not uncommon that when we are in a codependent relationship or when we are in a soul mate or twin flame relationship, there is this obsessive energy. And it's because there's such a familiarity, soul familiarity, but there's usually a lot of sexual energy. There's a lot of attraction there. You can tell that there would be a lot of passion between the two. So it's again, one of the contracts would be needing to learn how to balance that energy, to not be obsessive, because what happens with obsessive behavior when it comes to relationships is it turns into toxic energy, because there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of manipulation, there's a lot of gaslighting, there's a lot of power struggles. That's what comes with this type of energy, which would be taught a lot of times from ancestral. Our parents didn't have good relationships and they dealt with their arguments with screaming and yelling and addictions. It wouldn't be uncommon that we would do the same. It's again taught behavior in order to deal with the situation. Again, if you're paired up with someone or have a connection with someone that isn't a good communicator, that isn't emotionally intelligent, but is very mentally intelligent, but you happen to be very emotionally intelligent. So the two different ways of thinking creates a lot of, emotional energy, which creates a lot of obsessive energy, because in the fact that the two parties aren't agreeing, there's this fear of abandonment, which a lot of times is, again, what we've inherited. So, and what we need to forgive. So it's something to think about. So now we want to look at another karmic contract. The second karmic contract. Timelessness. So this relationship is one that is many, many years. It's again like many twin flame relationships. It's not our first go around with the person. There's again an intense connection because those lessons need to be learned by the two. So it's again, so there's usually means that there's a lot of lessons, and understand when you are getting a twin flame or soulmate, you have the same wounds. They might not have been created the same way, but a lot of times they were, meaning they hold the same theme. Maybe as a child, you felt like you were betrayed or victimized, and your partner feels the same way for different reasons. And you both form behaviorisms, and those behaviorisms are channeled out differently. And this is what creates the triggers. So learning how to incorporate and integrate the spiritual lesson is the only thing that breaks the contract, that would make this contract finally stop. If it's timeless, it's because we haven't learned the lesson fully. So we keep agreeing to come back into this lifetime and the next lifetime until we finally learn with this person. We agree way before we incarnate into this physical realm. So it's again, a lot of times these timeless connections are really intense on an emotional level that we don't even need to talk. there's a connection through ESP, the mind and heart. There's where we constantly feel like we see that person in our head. We constantly feel them. We constantly are reminded of them. So it's again, the reason why is because those lessons are, we really need to learn. That person really holds a significant place within your life for evolution. And so that is another karmic contract, which is there's just a lot of lessons and that you brought in from past life that you haven't learned yet, mainly the ones of the physical realm and forgiveness, victimization, releasing family karma, and ancestral karma. So those are a lot. Now let's just pull for the last karmic contract. I might have read 3, I'm not even sure, but just for giggles, let's see. And the last is cruel. So this could be again that the way that you handle the karmic connection and getting frustrated is not nice. Which is not uncommon. They say that there's a very fine line between love and hate. So when we're in a soulmate twin flame karmic connection, that there's a karmic contract, there is a lot of cruelness that goes back because both parties are very concerned about their own feelings. They're not really concerned about the other person's feelings. Both parties have a hard time showing their feelings towards each other because they weren't allowed to show their emotions a lot of times growing up. Again, ancestral karma, needing to release it because again, maybe when you did, you didn't feel good. So now you again need to forgive. So it's again, when we hold a lot of anger, we are not exactly nice to who is triggering us. And again, these karmic contracts, that's what they do. They trigger us. So we want to know, lastly, what you can do to heal. I want to learn what you can do to break this karmic connection so you can heal. Invincibility. So invincibility, where we keep on moving forward, maybe not so much within the connection, but within ourselves. A lot of times these karmic connections, they take so much out of us where we can really feel stuck emotionally and every other way. So having a passion, having an individuality that you are proud of, a lot of times is what makes us continue to be invincible, to keep moving forward, to find the spiritual lesson, to understand that love a lot of times is what makes us feel like we're invincible. We have to draw on the energy of love, and it might not be with a particular person. Again, it should be through our passions, our hobbies, because understand soulmates, which are karmic contracts, again, as I said in the beginning of this video, it was all about, is all about learning. And so the connection isn't broken until you learn. So the person is not going to leave fully 100%. They might leave and come back, leave and come back until they learn. But when you give yourself the love, that's when that person usually comes into your life and they act differently because you're taking the energy and putting it back onto yourself. So it's a way, the answer really to break the karmic connection is to find a passion that is going to make you invincible. And that has That's through our own hobbies, our own interests, our own things that which light us up, because that is the only energy that is going to be able to counteract the energy and the pull of a soulmate karmic connection that has a karmic contract. Because it's again, those connections are so intense because number one, there's soul recognition. I recognize you right away. There's a familiarity. There's also a lot of sexual attraction, physical attraction. And so, and there's a lot of lessons for us to learn. So the dynamic of that, the whole connection is one where we really feel like we found that person in the beginning, but if we move too fast and we don't teach the person how we want to be treated and we don't learn through, our past relationships, these relationships have a lot of potential to really hurt us bad. And because it's again, the more that we give within a soul relationship and it doesn't work out and you haven't given yourself the bigger hole and wound you feel like you have. So soul contracts are all about healing those wounds and clearing that karmic energy. Now let's see what your partner, if they have any messages for you. And I'm called to pull 3. See if they have any messages for you right now. What would they be? Well, these two want to come out. So let's see. I will see you sooner than you think. So if your person is ghosting you or they're not really speaking to you as much, I feel like now that we're moving into like the warmer weather, you're going to see this person more. This person is going to make an attempt to resurface if they've been out of your life or if you've been on the outs, that you will be hearing from them soon. Okay. You are my wish fulfillment. So understand, even if they have been out of your life for a little while, the reason why they're coming back is because they realize that you really are, that there's something special here, even if they may not act like it. Remember, God only looks at intention, because a lot of times our intention is good, but our actions are not good. We don't get the response that we want. This is why it's important to know that souls relationships are all about learning. So person can really have this on their mind, like that you're their wish fulfillment and not really be having the high vibrational energy to play that out, to act it out, I should say, or to act on those the things to do to make the relationship progress in a positive way. They tend to play a lot of games. And so when that happens, you need to take a step back. Otherwise, again, you will feel binded to that karmic contract and you're just an option. So that's a little bit like you're my wish fulfillment, you're my option. So this person, I feel like, is on the fence. I feel like they tend to go back and forth, which is not uncommon for soul contract relationships, by the way. Not uncommon at all. It's like 1 second you feel like this person feels like they're your wish fulfillment. The next they're like, I don't really know. And the reason why is because they're unsure with themselves. They're looking for something outside of themselves. And the thing that I didn't like about this, I will see you sooner than later. There's a sense of that this person almost feels, now not for all of you, but for some of you for sure, because I wouldn't be getting this, that this person feels that they can just show up in your life whenever they want to, and that you're just going to take them and once you do, then they're gonna say, well, you're my wish fulfillment, but guess what? I actually also have other options because I don't know what I want. And in a soul karmic contract relationship like this one that I just read for, you need to not give this person that much energy. You need to feed yourself more, because even if you wanted to have this person in your life, you wouldn't be able to keep them in your life consistently or positively with this type of energy, with this back and forth, with this, I want you, I'm not sure. I want you today, I'm not sure tomorrow. And it's again, it's not because they don't have feelings. Like I said, they are attracted. There is a chemistry. That's why they keep coming back. They know on some level you're their person, but they may suffer from being a player, like again, having a lot of addictions, not wanting to settle down, having a lot of commitment phobias and such. So it's again, you can't, if a person's giving you mixed messages, that take that as a no. Do yourself a favor and take it as a no. Because when they are a soulmate that has a karmic contract, you wouldn't be able to get rid of them that easily. They're going to keep coming back. You may need to teach that person what you're going to put up with and what you're not, by what you're going to allow. And you're going to need to, like, to counteract the emotional ups and downs and emotional manipulation that your person may give you, or in the fact that they might act like they don't care or whatever it is, in order to, I don't want to say train because sometimes that's the wrong word to use, but we have to teach people how we want to be treated. And if someone's coming in and out of your life because they feel like that you're always going to be there, because they can sense that there's such this good karmic connection, there's this soulmate connection, twin flame, passionate soul recognition right away, that you're just never going to go anywhere, because they can feel this obsessive energy. Well, then they're not sticking around. It's cruel. You're continually experience emotionally abandonment. You continually feel that you're not good enough. You continually feel that you're an option because of the way that the person makes you feel. Well, it brings up memories from the past. It brings up energies, again, negative energies that need to be clear. So let's see again what else, what I'm going to pull from a different oracle. I'd like to pull from the Dorian Virtue Raleigh Valentine deck, just to see if there's any additional advice, because a lot of times when it's a soul mate or twin flame relationship that we have a karmic connection to, a karmic contract with, this is not an easy relationship to break. There is such intense feelings, and we don't want to. We have to be ready to be able to do that. So getting a little bit of extra guidance when the energy is the person's giving us mixed feelings, and it's continually making me feel like a victim, but I'm kind of fighting with my heart and my gut and my head and my heart and just everything. So it's great to get a little bit more insight. So let's just see what advice, extra advice we can get for this particular situation. So this is Six of Fire, which is victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition and reward. So I would take that as, again, getting involved in something within your life that's going to make you feel good about yourself. That could be volunteering, that could be getting into a craft, that could be getting into a passion that you put on the side, getting like engulfed in a passion that you have. It will lead to creating something, which would lead to, if not recognition within your community, you would be noticed. It would help you connect to other like-minded people. And see, our choice of focus is our greatest tool when dealing with a negative karmic soulmate or a negative karmic connection. It's again because we feel like we're stuck in this paradox where part of us feels one way and then another part of us feels another. And you can't make a decision from this point. All this standpoint does is make us more emotional. So you want to take the energy off the connection. You want to take a few steps back from the connection because, again, you want to teach that person that it is not okay that they're treating you as an option. This is not okay. This is never okay, especially if this is right before it. Like, I'm going to see you sooner than you think, and meaning you think that you can just show up whenever you want, and you're my wish fulfillment one day and you're an option the next day. This is again very common in karmic contract connections. Those are the contract connections that need to be broken, and the only way that that can be done is to raise your vibration, surround yourself with like-minded people that are going to give you the emotional support that you need. And in this case, it's not, again, just running out and meeting someone and dating someone new. That's not what this is saying. This is saying is do something that you're going to get recognized, be known for something, whether that's your passion, whether you like to make art, whether that's you like to cook. I feel like some of you like to cook and others of you like to garden and others of you like to paint and do things that are creative. Get involved in your passions. I'm telling you, what will happen is it will create an entire life. You will become the vibration of love. You will attract love. You will break this contract. And you will be teaching that person that it was not okay to treat me as an option. And now you have to eat the karma. You're the one that's stuck with this karmic contract because you might have learned, but you learned the hard way. And now you're stuck with that feeling. That's the whole thing. Whoever doesn't, everyone learns. Just one person tends to learn to the point that they're stuck, and they're stuck in feeling hurt and or feeling victimized because they keep having bad relationships, they keep having bad situations happen. Well, it's because you keep repeating the same cycle. So by the time this person came into your life, they didn't stop that cycle, they're still doing it. So again, you have an opportunity to learn, to evolve, to break that contract so you can attract who and what you want to in your life so you can move forward. Otherwise, karmic contracts that aren't broken keep us stuck in limitation and all those emotional feelings that that original soul wound came from. And then we attract more of the same. So I hope you guys enjoyed that oracle spread on breaking your soul contract. And I hope that you resonated with it. If you did, please leave a comment, leave a like, follow me. It really helps me grow the channel. Again, if anyone's interested in getting a psychic reading, please reach out to me at pureenergyhealer.com. And until next time, be true to yourself. Love yourself. Good night.